Hello, hello. So I am going to show you how to de-stem and massage your kale for a salad. So when I say massage your kale, it gets a lot of chuckles from people. Um, but for me, kale is a really, well, for many people, kale is a really hardy, tough green. These ones are a little bit limp because I forgot to cover the garden bed and they were out in the snow. So they've taken a little beating, but kale is really hardy. And that's what makes kale so extra healthy for you too. When you have a plant that's really strong out in nature, therefore it's gonna like have a lot of strong nutrients to help build your body too. So anyway, so the reason we massage our kale is sometimes kale can be very difficult to eat. It's hard to chew, takes a lot of chewing, and it can be difficult for our bodies to digest. So if we're having trouble digesting the food, then we can sure as heck bet that we're not getting full nutrient value out of our food because we can't assimilate nutrients if we don't break it down. So I massage my kale before I eat it in a salad because the texture is so much more enjoyable for me. I'm not chewing for 5 minutes, one forkful at a time. And it also allows my stomach to tolerate it better. I can digest it without any kind of pain or upset or gas or bloating that could come with having difficulty digesting. So the first thing I'll show you is, so your kale has a stem, a very tough woody stem that I don't personally like to eat. So to de-stem it, to take that apart, I just go down here at the base of it and I tear off a little bit of the green. Then I pinch my hands and move forward and voila, you have separated the stem from the leaf. So I'll do one more for you. So again, I've started these a little bit here because they were a little wet from the snow, but normally I wouldn't have to do that. And then I'm just going to pull my fingers forward and remove the stem. What I do with these stems is I can use them in a juice if I'm juicing. I can still pull some nutrients from it when I do that. Or I will take them and just cut them in half and then add them to my veggie broth or bone broth bag. So I keep all veggie scraps in a little bag in the freezer and I just keep adding to it. So it'll get onion skins, carrot tops, carrot ends, garlic skins, broccoli stems, kale stems, whatever I have that's a scrap that I would put in the compost that I think would do really well in a broth. I throw in here, then I put this in the freezer, and then when I'm ready to make broth, I can just dump the bag of vegetables in there. So little tip there for you for low waste. So now I have all my kale de-stemmed here, and I've got a little puppy begging. He likes his greens. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to slice it. Some people tear it or use really large slices, but again, because I want to support my digestion, I actually slice it into thin strips. That's how I prefer it. You do what's best for you, and play with it and see how you prefer to eat your kale. Like if I'm roasting it, I'll do much larger chunks. I'll tear it. And if I'm sauteing it, I'll do larger pieces. But for like a salad or like an apple beet carrot salad, I do quite thin strips, as you can see here. So the next step is, now some people would eat it just like this. This is where I take it a little step further, add the ingredients to a bowl, and we're gonna massage. And it's just as fun as it sounds. Who doesn't like a good massage? So what you need to have in here is an acid. You have to have an acid to help start breaking down the fibers of the greens, because essentially what's happening is, it's like, think of it as pre-digestion. Like you're starting the digestion process of this kale in the bowl. So then when you eat it, you'll be able to get many more nutrients out of it. So you have a couple of options. The two I like to use the most are either apple cider vinegar, or I'll use lemon juice, because some of you are making the apple beet carrot salad. I am going to use lemon juice in it today just because it matches the recipe already. But if I was using apple cider vinegar, I'd just toss in a splash. So you're going to need your acid, a dash of oil, and a little bit of salt. And the salt grains the texture of it, kind of helps rub it a little bit more to break it down even further. So the first thing I'm going to do is squeeze my lemon here and get some juice all over the kale. Catch those seeds, you don't need those in there. Great. So I've got that in there. And then I'm going to do just a splash of olive oil. This is, and ultimately I could use this as my dressing, right? I'd just add a little extra at the end. But if you're using a different dressing, this is still fine. You won't taste the difference. And then I'm going to add some sea salt. Good for flavoring, getting some extra minerals, and breaking down my kale. So I'm going to just toss it a little bit. And then while I'm in here, I'm just going to gently squeeze it. This is essentially the massaging piece. And I'm just going to keep doing that. You'll do it probably for like a minute or so until it gets to the consistency you like. You could massage this for a very long time and make it much smaller because the size will reduce as you're doing this. And the kale, you can start to see it's already doing it, becomes a much deeper, more vibrant color green. And it's almost like, not almost, it is. I'm bringing out the phytochemicals, the colorful nature that gives it its powerful antioxidants and vitamin K and vitamin C, all of the vitamins it's bringing out. Those come from the color in the plant. And you can even see my hands are turning a little bit green too from doing it. So that means you're getting some strong plant power. So I've massaged this enough. Now you'll notice how much that has actually decreased in there in size. But now I've got a much softer, more digestible set of greens for a salad. And the color is just absolutely beautiful. And this will be much easier for your body to consume, to digest. You're going to break it down and you'll be able to assimilate and absorb and use many more of the nutrients from it. So if you're new to kale, or if you've tried kale before and it was just too hard to break down, you didn't like the texture, try this. Try this if you're eating it raw and let me know how it works out for you.